it, but I do speak for the understanding that this is an absolute certainty that the Western Balkan nations are a natural part of the EU family. And as I look around at the world that we are confronted with, we see rising tensions, we see, as the President was saying, issues of populism growing. We see conflict in Ukraine, that it's about finding real solutions to practical problems. It is about countries being prepared to take on reforms and deal with them. When I look at what's happening in Bosnia-Herzegovina, what's happening with Republika Srpska and what Mr. Dodik is up to, or I look at the stalemate, in a sense, between Serbia and Kosovo, and spend time talking with both about the possibilities to be able to resolve problems that, in the scheme of what we are facing as a planet, are tiny issues. They're not easy, they are difficult, they have history. They come from places of horror and war and conflict. But we should be thinking all the time about the next generation. Young people are leaving the region for better opportunities elsewhere. We want them to come home. We want to see people move into the Western Balkans to create new enterprise, new business, new possibilities, to see this as a natural extension of where they might live and grow and develop their families and their future. And that's not going to happen if we can't find ways to sort out the difficulties and the challenges that are faced. It doesn't all depend on the nations of the Western Balkans. The EU is capable of letting them down too. And we've seen that happen, that sometimes individual nations, in my experience, have got problems that they want to throw into the mix to resolve. Or we have issues that actually enlargement becomes a political problem in an individual country of the European Union. All of that is true. This is not easy. We are all domestic politicians trying to work in an international setting and to try and develop strategies and plans that will also work in our own countries as well as between nations. And that's especially true for the nations in the Western Balkans. But if ever there was a time when we need to move forward, to set aside as many of these problems as we can, to resolve the ones that need to be properly resolved, to show determination and to go forward, then it has to be now. So what I hope we will do in the context of the geopolitical situation we are in the course of the next 24 hours, is actually work out a plan, is actually be very practical in saying what are the things that need to happen. I hope to be still around in 10 years. I don't want to be back in this room having the same conversation. I hope we will be in this room doing other things. I hope that we will be able to be extremely thoughtful and far-thinking and honest and direct about what needs to happen if we are going to see a successful progression into the European Union for these countries.